Okay, guys, we're gonna do a sequential page now. We're going to, like I did in my last video, I told you guys about shortcuts. All I did was I went to a page of the same books. I'm gonna use all the same fonts and everything, and I just found a page that looked about right, has a lot of good bubbles and stuff in it, so I used that. And you go to issue 2. I'm gonna rename it, and we're gonna name it page 1 letters, because we're gonna be working on page 1 of this new book, right? So we'll go in here, and what I do is I like to, you can call it lazy, but really it's just I like to save time. So it's going to tell you that it can't find the font, or it can't find the file. So I'm going to find it for us, and we're not going to issue 1, which is where page 7 is. We're going to start it off on a fresh page, issue 1. So we're going to just replace it. That way it goes right where it's supposed to be and everything, and I don't have to resize or reformat or replace or anything like that. See, it goes perfectly with how I want it to do. These butted balloons, I can delete some of them because I'll just butt my own balloons later. Everything else looks good. Kill that. Okay, so let's start with panel 1, right? Let's go back here. I didn't open up the script. I should open up the script, right? Okay. Sometimes I'll read just to make sure that I'm on the right page and stuff is supposed to be where it is or whatever. Okay, so be sure, like we said in the last video, right, to get rested so you'll be prepared for tomorrow. Okay, that looks about right. Sometimes I'll go through and do all of them, you know, but I'm not really sure how I want to do it yet. So for purposes of this video, and I really want you guys to actually be able to see these videos, so I'll probably just do a few panels and then do a sorry, I feel like I can't actually do this and talk at the same time. And then I'll do like a few panels, and then I'll do some SFX, some sound effects. So again, we just Control Tabbed over to the script, Control C to copy, Control Tab again, double click, and then Control A, Control V. It looks about right, but it looks kind of pyramid-y. I don't really like that. So let's try something else. I don't know. Well, let's see. Yeah, this might be a little better. And there we have it. That looks good to me. And I'm gonna do about right there. That way when I select our bubble, hold shift, make it a little smaller, then I'll let go of shift and kind of size it a little better, and looks about right for me. And I'll place it. When I'm doing my placements, I really don't know what I'm gonna do or when. You know what I mean? I just kind of see what works the best. And who's talking? Varney. So Varney is the vampire. He's the leader of the group right here. So I will probably place it right about there. And remember what we said about the center, like it's supposed to look like it's coming from the center. The tail is supposed to be looking from, like it's coming from the center of the balloon. So there we go. And that looks about right to me. Maybe a little bit longer, elongated. So yeah, it looks about right. So next panel, no dialogue. So I won't delete all this stuff. I'll just move it down because I might want to use one of the bubbles or something. It looks like it could use a sound effect, but it'll take me too long to think of one, so I'll just do it later. Okay, so alright then, now we just have to bring in the drawbridge. I think I'm going to split that up to 2. Good thing this is right here, right? So let's just move stuff around and see what happens. That doesn't really look good to me, so I will do it like this. And I'm probably gonna, like I said, use 2, so I'll just hit Control X to cut that and move that up some, and then I'll do that. And then it looks about right. Make it smaller. Grab it. Kind of bring it down a little bit. And that looks about right to me. What do you guys think? Oh wait, I can't hear you. You can only hear me. Okay, so and the reason, like I said, make it come. Okay, and I don't know if that really looks the best. Maybe about right there. I don't really like breaking the borders. That's like the Marvel way to do it, is not to break the borders. But I think it works. It works good for this book, especially, you know, because it's more animated looking. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in some. Hold Alt and scroll up to zoom in, and hold Shift or hold Control and scroll up to go left. Hold Shift or Alt Control and scroll right or scroll down to go right. What I do is I do my bottom first. I think I told you guys about that. I want this to get the feel that it's coming from the middle of both of those. That's why I stacked it the way that I did. So I'm going to start here, go to his mouth, or toward his mouth, not all the way, of course. Start right there, or stop right there, and then I'm gonna give it a curve. I'm gonna go all the way over here to where it's like that huge, and then I'm going to curve it inward like that. That way it gets like a good, strong curve shape to it, and it looks like it could very well be, I'm sitting here touching the screen like you can see it. It looks like it can be coming from the center of both of those, or through the first one into the, or from the first one into the second one, through it and out like that. Now all we have to do is, you know, shape it a little better, because it's not really, drawbridge is kind of a long word. So let's hold Shift and do it to where it does everything, and Let's try this. That might work a little better. And then we can move it up some. It's all in really your how you want to do it. Your own personal taste as a letterer, as an artist, you know. Um, I like for there to be a little space. I don't really like all the space at the bottom, but what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna, you know, do that if I don't necessarily have to, and I don't necessarily have to. But it would make it look good, you know, if I did it like that. But if it's not necessary, I don't like to break up. I don't like to break up my words if I don't have to, if I don't absolutely have to. So there's that, and that's a pretty good panel right there. All right then, now we just have to bring in the drawbridge, and I'll leave it like that, and I'll just change it later, just for time's sake, because these videos, even the little 8-minute short video I posted took like an hour and a half to upload, so to render it and everything, so I want to get this done for you guys pretty quickly. Let's see, there's no sound effects on this page. Let's see if there are some sound effects on the next one. I'll just do a sound effect for you. How about that? Oops. I'll do one for you. Okay, so John wanted the sound effect crash, right? I'll just do it over here. He wanted crash, right? So what I do is I'll do it separately, and then I'll angle it a certain way. Okay, let's see this. What font should we use for crash? Let's see. It really doesn't, I don't know, it matters, but it really doesn't matter for the purpose of this video. I'm just going to show you in like general what I do. Let's just use crunchy because it's good. It's good for this type of thing. So make it bigger. Crash. Okay. First thing I do is I'll find my font. It looks like a good font. Okay, fine. Right click, create outlines, or you can just hit Control O. Right click, ungroup, or I think you can just hit Shift Control G is to ungroup. Okay, so that gives you these good little outlined things to where you can hit A, which is the direct selection tool, and you can click on any piece of the whatever you want and do whatever you want with it. Shape it however you want, whatever. So what I'm going to do here is I normally just do down up. Maybe make this a little bit smaller. Doesn't, it's not like a huge sound. And also, if you make the cuh smaller, it makes the crash look a lot bigger, or like it's more impactful. And I'll do this to make it kind of like even the damn dashes are just ridiculously being affected by the crash sound. They're not even straight. Okay, and I'll outline these later, and you'll see. So let's make that like that, maybe. That sound good, or look good. Look like it sounds good. Okay. And then crash, same thing, or pretty much the same thing. A lot of times I'll make the A a lot larger, like to draw emphasis to it, and that you can already see it draws emphasis. Like the whole, it looks different already. And once we do down a little bit on this, maybe go over some, up, and maybe tilt it, rotate it a certain way, because that looks like it would be cool to kind of go in there. And then for this, say down, up, large, and then maybe another down, up. Looks good to me. Okay, so then I normally group them. You can also come over here to the Pathfinder tool and merge. But if you merge them, then it's not gonna, these little dashes aren't gonna go right. But I can point you to some tutorials where they actually merge them and it looks good and stuff. Because I had to learn from those two. So I grouped them to where I can do all of it at the same time. Then what I'm going to do is I'll just copy it, Control C, and then I'll oh, I forgot. Okay, I'll give it a like I said, I like all black. I'll give it an outline. Let's give it a 2-point outline, and then I'll just Control F to paste in front the unoutlined one, and I'll give that a color. And for right now, we'll just use like blue or something. A lot of times, I'll use my I like to use my swatches. RGB, CMYK are the ones I normally use, so I'll just use my swatches and put them back in there. And we'll use this blue. We'll use this color. What is this? Blue? Yeah. I think I might be a little colorblind. So, okay. So we'll do that, and looks good, right? Now, oh, you know what? I shouldn't have. Okay. Let's see. Let's ungroup real quick so I can bring this forward. That was the whole reason for doing it that way, right? And then I'll bring that forward and make that go into it a little bit, right? Maybe up some. It just depends on what you want or what you like, you know. That's all it is. It just depends on what you like and how you want to letter your books. Make that a little long. And I think that works for a good crash. I could actually just do that, but it looks a little plain, right? So let's go. I'll bring every letter in front. That way, you know, it gives the effect of having the letters, each letter in front of another letter or whatever. So now I'll go ahead and group them. I'll go to my Effect tab. You can distort and transform, free distort, to do that, kinda. And, you know, that looks good. But what I like to do is I like to go to my Effect tab, go to Warp, and I'll just kinda see what looks the best, you know? I'll just double click here, and then I'll just go down the list, see what looks the best. A lot of times the bulge looks really good. A lot of times arc upper and arc lower looks really good too. So we'll just see which one for this looks the best. I'll keep it on 50 until I'm actually ready to, let's just try, I'm not sure what to do for this one actually. I suppose we could just do an arc upper. Let's try it. Well, no, let's do bulge. I like bulge. And since it's so out of there, you know, it's weird looking, let's bring it down some to, let's just say 15. And it does vertical, you can do all kinds of stuff with your bends and whatever. So, but I'll just keep it simple for this tutorial and do 15. And now we can still go into distort and transform and add a new effect. And now we can kind of bring it out a little. It might be too much, but just for the purpose of this video, I want to show you like how much you can do with Illustrator. And that looks like a good crash. One thing we could do is, let's do copy, paste and back, and give it a little backdrop, and let's make it all black. That looks good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It looks like it's really popping out of the page. Also, oh yeah, one thing I do want to do is give it. Oh, I want to show you guys how to do a good. Let's see, gradient on your stuff. Okay, so crash. That looks really good. You can just hit tap the G button and kind of angle it however you like. Like if the lightning or the explosion or the glass breaking or whatever is coming from over here, you can kind of do it that way. If it's coming from down here, you can do it that way. If it's, you know, it just depends on my explosion or whatever I'm doing at the time. Whatever. Just play around with it, have fun. Or if you want the to be more and the crash to be a different color or whatever. It's just up to you, however you like to do it when you're playing around with it. You see it does different things. So that's pretty much it. That's my lettering. That's how I letter my books. It's pretty simple and straightforward, you know. Pretty easy to. And if I was to put that here, like if the werewolf, let's say the werewolf was breaking through the glass instead of just creeping in, I would put the crash like. I'd probably put it like over here, you know, crash, because it's all this room, just for placement's sake, you know, and it still gives the impression that, you know, he's the one doing it, because the other ones are static. He's actually moving. You see stuff around him, so it looks good. Placement's sake, I read left to right, so it just looks better. But if there were more people talking, it would be different. Let's try one more panel, and I really hope this video doesn't take too long to upload. But script, okay. Want me to do it? No need. Okay, yeah. Let's do this panel 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. Let's do this. Take those. Okay. Alright, so I just copied those. What does this one say? Want me to do it? So want me to do it, and no need Grinderstein. I'm very capable of doing this myself. Alright, so I want me to do it. Copy, paste, and copy, paste. Oh, that worked perfectly. Really good. Okay, so And that's pretty much it. Like, it's really not that hard to letter books, especially in Illustrator, because once you learn all the commands and stuff, you know. So anyway, I have a thing with eye lines. Like, you're not supposed to come in between the character's eye lines. Um, so that's gonna be kind of hard with this because there's not like all the space is between their eye lines. You can see all the space is between their eye lines. So let's transform. Right-click, transform, reflect. Hit OK, and it goes directly there. Make sure it comes from the that points to the mouth and comes from the center of the balloon. About right there, and it still looks good. It's just that it's gonna be in their eye line. I mean, there's really not. Sometimes you just can't help it, because you don't want to put it down here and then mess up the art. You know, maybe come over here, but it's still I feel. I personally feel like it would. I mean, I could even make the balloon a little bit smaller, even if it's smaller than the other balloons, and it doesn't really, you know what I mean, match all that well. It would still be a little bit better. I mean, zoom in. It would still be a little bit better than getting in the way of the art. I'd rather make my balloons a little small than get in the way of the art. But what are you gonna do? Maybe I can do this over here. But if I did that, then yeah, I still feel like it would just leave too much blank space, you know? So I think I'm gonna leave it where I had it. Like about right there. Because you don't want to like cover up your characters. You never want to do that. That's just bad lettering, and it's not invisible at all. You know, you want the lettering to accentuate the art, not cover it up, or you know, a good letterer, no one knows his name because they're supposed to be invisible as hell. Like bad letterers, everyone knows who they are because their books look like shit. But a good letterer, you're gonna be invisible. It's just gonna be part of the narrative. You know what I mean? So, and then for his tail, we can just do that. I'll make that smaller so I can actually work with it. But I really don't like those kind of curvy tails. Yeah, I don't really like that at all. So I'll have to change that. But that's how I letter my books, and like that's how I do my placement. I just kind of try to make sure that I'm placing things properly, you know. And if a tail is in the eye line, I don't really mind so much. But you know, I prefer to not have anything in the eye lines. But let's see. Let's just copy that. Comes from the center, point to the mouth. And then I'll zoom in a little bit to see if that looks good. See how it looks, you know, because you don't want it to be overpowering or anything. It's kind of pointing to his nose. Let's see. We can bring it over a little bit, kind of get it just right. And I believe, I believe we have. And there we go. So those, that's going to be how that page, that panel is going to look. Um, Other panels might have been a little easier, but like, other panels might have been a little easier, but yeah, I'm glad I did that, chose that one to do. And that's it. So thank you for watching. This has been Sequential Lettering Sequential Pages with Chris Johnson.